Well, Team EFL, Mark Zimmer here from the 10 Group. Sorry I can't be there in person at this stage, but I'll be visiting you all in a couple of weeks to give you some face-to-face training on the cable spiking unit you guys have procured. So thank you. Firstly, I'll just give you a quick rundown on the equipment received. So the cable spiking kit includes the Klauke wireless battery operated pump, a 5-metre non-conductive hose, and the cutter head itself. I'll just give you a quick close-up on the remote and the fittings for the operation. So with the wireless remote, you'll see two buttons. You'll see an A and a B. The A button is to power the unit, to do the cuts, and that button you do need to hold down during the operation. You can release it at any time. The operation will just stop if you need to pause, and then you can press it again to continue the cut. Once the cut is complete, we will press the B button, and you only need to press and hold that once. Once the system releases, you can release the button and you'll see the cutter head retract. And also just with connecting your hose to the pump and the cutter unit, you'll see there is a pin on the female collar. So what we need to do is spin that around, line it up with the groove. We pull that collar down. That will then make the connection to the pump. And then also you use the same operation to release, which I will show you in a moment. So first things first, before we operate the system, do not connect the battery. Ensure the hydraulics are all connected first. Just for safety, so there's no accidental operation while you're putting it all together. So again, we will, as shown before, we'll pull that collar down, you'll hold that down, push it into the coupling on the pump and release. That is now connected. Same with the connection on the cutter head. The cutter head has the female coupling, so we'll pull the collar down on the cutter head, install the hose, release, and just ensure your fittings are secured. Once that is connected, we are safe to install the battery into the pump, ready for operation. The unit will have two ports. The port on the right, looking from the back, is the powered port. The port on the left is simply just a storage port for your spare battery. So once the system, the battery dies, you can release that, pop it on charge, get your freshly charged battery and continue to cut. And just a quick rundown on the purpose of the cable spiking kit and the non-conductive hose and its length of 5 meters. That is, will give the operator a safe distance should the cable be live when they're cutting. Ideally, it's important not to cut live cable, but in the chance that there is some potential concern or some residual power in the line, this will keep the operator safe. So, before we plug the battery in, it's also good to install the cutter head and the cable. This is very simple, just a pin there. This will open the gate to install your cable. Once that's in, ensure the pin is all the way back through, and then we are good to go. So now that the system is plugged in and set up, we are good to operate. So we're going to install the battery into the unit. You will see the LED display light up on the pump, go through its little startup procedure, and that is good to operate. Okay, once it's all set up, the operator is at a safe distance from the setup and the pump. We can start to operate. So I'm going to press and hold that button as mentioned before. You'll see the cutter head advance, and then I'll stop it when the cable is cut. There we go. Apologies, my meaty hands weren't pressing the right button. So let's assume that the cable is now cut. we can simply release the button to stop the operation. Now, simply to release, we just press and hold B. You'll hear a click and you'll see the RAM in the cut head start to retract. Once that is fully retracted, you are good to set it up for your next cut, or if you've completed the operations, it's important that RAM retracts all the way through to reduce all the residual pressure within the system, which can make it very difficult to connect your couplings on the next job. Once that is retracted, we are good to go. We remove the battery to avoid any incidental operation while disconnecting. We'll pull those collars back on our female couplings, on the hose, and on the cutter head. And then all good to store in a dry, safe place. As mentioned before, it's important to keep the hose maintained and clean and free from any defects and kinks. So good to clean the hose regularly with either a solvent wipe or rubber goods cleaner, which we do have in our polywater range, and obviously store in a dry, cool place out of the sun. And yeah, it's as simple as that, guys. So again, I'll go in more depth with you during my visit in a couple of weeks, but if you have any questions or concerns in the meantime, feel free to give me a call, send me an email. Happy to jump on Teams if you like as well, and we can discuss further. Otherwise, I will see you all in a few weeks. Thank you for your time.